Grid of KTMs. They're all lined up and ready to go, and they're in pole position. The 15-year-old Argentine Marco Morelli, and of course he didn't race at all last year, just didn't have any money to go racing, and but now he's very much getting in the groove of it, and he chased. He admitted, he said, I chased around the pack. He said they were just the right distance in front of me. I caught them, and that's what at the moment he qualified second. He's already won a Rookies Cup race. He'd love to move up the points, the wins table, of course. That's still in interest in the front row. The 15-year-old Italian, Guido Pini on the number 94 machine. He's got some practice. Give me 4 laps where you don't push too hard going into the corners. And I think that is what helped him qualify in second position, by far his best qualifying. Max Chies of lap. Looking forward to this afternoon's race here at Le Mans. It really is a fabulous Grand Prix circuit.
Well, let's take a look at the starting grid then. In full, you've got Morelli on the front row of the grid ahead of Salmela and Pini. Piqueras, Thompson and Buchanan make up row 2 with Quiles, Carpe, is O'Gorman, followed by Ruda and Danish, then Moodley, Luciano and Eddie O'Shea, properly returning to action this weekend. Seems all his issues with his leg are finally there in the row just behind them, along with Boggio, Farkas, Rosenhaler and Mizera.
Ruche Moodley, the South African, who's getting really good tips from Brad Binder here, and Brad has very much taken him under his wing. He only qualified down on the 5th row in 13th place, but he actually had a string of red helmets on that final qualifying lap, and it just didn't come together for him right at the last corner. So I think he's got the potential to move forward from the 5th row.
It's been a busy few weeks for our rookies, as they've actually had 3 race weekends in a row now. Last weekend they found themselves, most of them at least, in Estoril over in Portugal, where they raced in the respective European Talent Cup or the Junior GP. That's the Moto3 Junior World Championship. Some key riders who are riding a wave of confidence coming into this one has to be Piqueras. He lost out on the Junior GP win by 2 thousandths of a second. Very impressive indeed. Jacob Rolls the results last weekend, carrying that confidence here at Le Mans.
That's right, and but as we pointed out before, lost the cup to JD Beach. Third on the podium, the Frenchman, Nelson Mayor.
Excellent stuff. Here we go then. Any predictions? I'm not going to bother.
No, well, yeah, it's a waste of time, really, isn't it? Marco Morelli, proven entirely wrong. What's the 95 on his helmet?
A Lightning McQueen from the Disney film Cars.
Fantastic.
Very unlikely.
They're coming under starters' orders. The BMW pace car at the back of the grid. Lights flashing. Revs rising, temperatures rising, and the lights are out. Who makes a good start? It's a good start from everybody on the front row, I think. Hard to see, but I think it is Marco Morelli who has the advantage off the line. And it is Rico Simela, 27, up in the second place as they sweep right-handed here. Just see if they can make the tough left and right here. And I think it's Rico who has taken the advantage. Rico it is who leads underneath the Dunlop Bridge, and he is already chased by Angel Piqueras.
Somehow they all made it through those first sector of turns. They're really impressive indeed. Pini was one of the riders that initially got pushed back, but he's now moving Marco Morelli out of the way. But look at that, the 14 of Cormac Buchanan going up the inside of Pini from 6th on the grid. He's now moved up towards 3rd.
And back into second gear, this long looping left-hander, so tricky. You've got to hook it up into 3rd on the way out, where you're still well laid over, and down the hill they go to Garage Bear and back into 1st gear. Hard braking. Who's the late on the brakes?
That's Carter Thompson. He's there, the 50. A great move up the inside of Casey O'Gorman and Marco Morelli there. So Morelli, the Argentinian, a superb pole position yesterday, properly pushed back in the race.
But it's still the 27 of Rico Somella who has the advantage over Piqueras and Pini. Buchanan, 4th place. Thompson, O'Gorman, what a superb battle this is. Somebody's got straight on.
Yeah, that's a shortcut indeed. They're going to have to wait there and stop back in. Oh, is that down in the background? It's O'Gorman. O'Gorman's down. He's riding injured anyways after a difficult race and a big accident back in Estoril. He's down, rolling over, but it looks like he was about to get up there.
Hopefully it is. Rico Somella still has the advantage, but he's under strong pressure from Angel Piqueras as they sweep through the last two right-handers. First gear, quickly up into second gear, all the way up into sixth gear here across as they peel off into the super fast right-hander.
This must be one of the best corners they visit anywhere on the Rookies Cup calendar right now. Sending one of these 250cc KTMs into there, then breaking down. Oh, and it's Marcos Ruda, the 69, who's down as well at the final complex of corners. That's a real shame for him. He had qualified in 11th place, was expecting big things from him.
Right, through the chicane, underneath the Dunlop Bridge and down again to La Chapelle, second gear. And it's still Rico who has the advantage. Yes, he's up and moving his Ruda, so that's really good to see. Rico Samela still has the advantage over the 18 of Angel Piqueras. Let's say the long looping left-hander, it opens up, changing up into third gear, up into fourth gear on the rush down to La Chapelle.
Hakim Danish up into 6th place. He's moved up 6 positions in this race so far, from 12th on the grid. I did catch up with him earlier, asked him how his qualifying went. He went, yeah, it's okay, it's P12. And I went, well, what are you expecting for the race? He said, I hope to get P5 or P6. I said, well, that means you're on the podium then, doesn't it? Because that's what happened in Portugal.
Yeah, indeed it was. So there is the points leader, the number 18 of Angel Piqueras, right in the slipstream of Rico Salmela, the flying Finn, the diminutive Finn, looking for his second Rookies Cup win.
And what has happened to Marco Morelli? Something bad is, oh, it would have been him who went straight on then, because he is all the way down in 19th position. So our own Lightning McQueen decided to do a bit of old NASCAR racing himself. No corners, proper corners for him anyways. Straight on at the chicane there on lap 1.
So back into first gear. Who can make a really good job of carrying the speed through the super tight right-handers to get a good drive out onto the straight? It is still Rico Samela, the Finn, who has the advantage, but a whole stream of, what is it, 10 guys there still battling for the lead, really.
Fastest rider on track that time around was the 28 of Max Quiles. He's in the middle of your shot there. He's making a move up the inside of Carter Thompson potentially. Yes, he does make it there. Quiles, he has to cut across, cuts across, has to take a shortcut, moves back. That's a shame for him. He was on a great pace. As I mentioned on the grid, he is riding a little bit injured, but that didn't seem to be hindering him too much in the European Talent Cup or qualifying here.
And away up the hill, climbing away from La Chapelle, third, fourth gear, then back to second gear. You can see them flicking back through the gears. Guido Pini there in third place, Buchanan. Can any of them hold on to Piqueras and Salmela?
Yeah, that is an absolutely awesome pace from Salmela and Piqueras so far, and a bit of a class of their own, aren't they? Running really well. Rico just seems to be proper riding that wave of confidence at the moment, and well, he's small enough that down the sort of the acceleration zones that we have here, which are pretty hard acceleration zones down the straights, he really doesn't fall victim to much of a slipstream effect.
No, indeed. So through the left and right, second up into third gear through the right-hander and out onto the short straight before back into second. These are long looping, long corners. It's, an S, but it really comes way back on itself. And important also, that first right-hander is very well banked, but the second part is absolutely flat.
It's his third and final year in Rookies Cup. The New Zealander needs to have as better results as he possibly can, but he does get swamped a little bit by both Pini and Danish on the run towards turn 1.
That's right. In that overtaking manoeuvre, he didn't get the same drive out as the opposition, so he got blown off on the run uphill past the start and finish. And superb stuff now for Danish, number 13, the 15-year-old Malaysian, up into base, but there's a huge battle going on for that third position.
Danish making me look like I know what I'm talking about with those sorts of predictions earlier, so thank you, Hakim, I appreciate that, but they need to be careful. Up the inside and overtook the New Zealander, pushing him back a further place. Needs to stay calm, does the New Zealander now. Yeah,
both of them, and they're just losing touch a little bit with Salmela and Piqueras. But plenty of life left in this race as well. I'm sure Danish. And that's a long loop. Carter Thompson, very wide for the 15-year-old Australian. That's exceeding track limits, if you like.
Yeah, that's way wide. I mean, he's gone into the campsite there. He's just come back covered in soot from the blown engines.
Yeah, that's right. Right, that's the 83, of course, of Alvaro Carfe. Thought he'd be higher up, actually.
This might be the thing about a lack of experience on this circuit and things like that. You know, it shows this sort of general lack of experience of racing at this level. Having said that, the likes of Pini and Danish really adapted very, very well. I just think it's a case-by-case thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And Danish, look at that 13 there, the Malaysian right on the tail of the leading duo now. He really put a good lap together there once he got up into that third place and has hunted down Salmela and Piqueras.
The rider, along with Danish, that is running the fastest pace, though, is Max Quiles. The only riders in the 145s that time around was the Malaysian and the young Spaniard. So you've got to keep an eye on them both. Max Quiles needs to keep calm. A couple of errors so far, it seemed, particularly there last time around at turns 3 and 4. Danish, though, really giving Piqueras something to think about.
Yes, he is. And
even more so as he goes at the inside.
Yeah, but it'll drift a little bit wide. And of course, that's always the thing here. These long corners, if you run in quickly, you're going to almost certain to drift wide. Very hard to hold the inside line. Track limits warning for Max Quiles. Of course, we saw him go off track completely. But he's obviously got to watch keeping off the green stuff.
Oh, Dodo Boggio's gone down then. Another rider who's had a flurry of crashes of late, particularly with other riders indeed. Turn 4, he's gone down. That's on the exit towards the Dunlop Bridge. So hopefully...
The Malaysian. Finland leads Malaysia.
The great leveller, a circuit where none of the riders have much experience. This is brilliant stuff. You're really seeing sort of just an opportunity is how I think I'd like to describe it for some of these younger riders, the rookies of the rookies lot. And here we go then, Danish across the line, right in the slipstream of Salmela. You've got Pini looking to overtake Piqueras as well. This is great from the Italian. Can he keep it on 2 wheels though? That's been his, well, kryptonite so far this year.
Yeah, been very tricky. And now I was just about to say to you, Matt, do you think that Angel Piqueras is just hanging in there and waiting for the laps to count down?
Yeah, it could well be. He's certainly clever enough with enough racecraft now. As you said, he's hunting down the record for all-time number of wins in Rookies Cup from Karel Hanneke. So I think he's certainly clever enough to do such a thing, to be honest. He knows the riders ahead of him don't have as much experience of winning races as he does.
So Ferrandez for the fastest lap. Well, that's...
But actually, to be fair, if you can get the right run through the final part of garage work there in the long lap penalty lane, it can give you a bit more of a slingshot on the back straight, perhaps.
Oh, interesting. Okay, you're looking back at the 94 of Guido Pini, through the looping right-hander, the banked one, and then into the left that leads down to the final corner. Back into first gear, the very, very, very tight rights. And it still is Rico Salmela on the 27, who has the advantage out onto the start and finish. Still 11, it'll be 10 laps to go as they cross the line this time.
And we have ourselves, Peter, a full-on 20-wheeler pretty much of a leading group. Okay, there's a couple of little micro gaps in there, but this is impressive indeed. Rouchet Moodley, fastest lap of the race. Where did he qualify, did you say?
Well, yeah, he was way down there, really. He was back in the 5th row there, 13th. As I said, he was putting together a very quick lap right at the end of quality.
So that's when he went off previously, I assume.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, interesting that he yeah, because he didn't rush to get back on. But anyway, not for us to judge. 27 it is who has the advantage, and they've pushed Hakim Danish back now. He's dropped back to 4th place because it's Piqueras and Pini who've taken up 2nd and 3rd, and it's now them who are putting Rico Salmela under pressure.
Yeah, although I have to say Rico is leading this race very, very well indeed, looking calm and composed as you would expect from a Finnish rider, but this is not exactly this experience leading for this long in a Rookies Cup race. He's doing a sensational job.
Now, if you remember back in the Harris, it took Max Quiles, I think it was a long time to realise he'd got a long lap penalty, didn't it?
It did,
Hopefully
yeah.
He realised Alexander Enriquez is a faller, and behind Quiles is the number 11 of Rouchet Moodley, and Rouchet Moodley looking very strong at the moment.
Very, very strong indeed. This could be another fantastic ride from the South African in the stand
of Harris, but looking good. Let's just see what he can do here. So it is still Rico Salmela who has the advantage ahead of the 94 of Guido Pini.
Then you've
Piqueras
got,
in 3rd place.
He's just been overtaken by Max Quiles then, who will have also just got that notification of that long lap penalty. Here is an opportunity for him to do it. He sticks his leg out. I think he's going to do it this lap this time around. Well done, Max. He knows exactly what needs to be done as Rouchet takes an optional long lap penalty almost there by running wide.
Was that?
No, he can't do that.
No, he's going to have to do it again.
Yeah,
he'll have to redo the long lap penalty.
He didn't make it back through the lane.
No.
Unless he thought that another rider was going to push him wide.
That was very strange, wasn't it?
I'm not sure that'll work.
Well, anyway, it's handed advantage to Rico Somella because he's now broken away very slightly. It's still the 94 of Guido Pini, and then Angel Piqueras. Roger Moudley is there in 4th place now. Yeah. I don't think it was Roger who went off on the green. And there's the 54 of Alberto Ferrandis. Now, he showed the fastest lap just a couple of laps ago, and he's now gone past Roger. So he's a man very much on the charge.
I did not see Ferrandis coming, I must admit. That is really impressive from the 54. Very, very good indeed. I'm not sure who it was who went overly wide there then, but Quiles is just off the back of this group. It says the long lap penalty was completed.
Yeah,
so that's done and dusted.
Yeah. Well, okay, we'll see. Anyway, we're halfway. We're only halfway through this.
Enough action, Peter.
I think so. So Rico leads, and then the whole pack, and there's the number 11 of Roger Moudley, the 16-year-old South African. They come over the hill from under the Dunlop Bridge down into the long looping right-hander. And as you said, Rico looking pretty cool, calm and collected out in front there.
He's letting all the chaos ensue behind him, and he's pulled out that half a second lead over Piqueras. But the number 18 is very, very good at this sort of thing, just letting whoever it is out front do their thing, suss it out, stay out of trouble, generally speaking. That's why he's a 3-time race winner this year alone.
Alvaro Carpe on the 83, foot dragging on the floor to try and help him get stopped and turned. Somella under the screen, as is Piqueras, the 94 of Guido Pini in 3rd place. Ferrandis in 4th.
Moudley, though, swarming all over the back of him in 5th. This is the best ride we've seen from Roger Moudley, apart from, of course, when he led the race for a period of time back in Portugal. He was very, very strong there, but in terms of this far in a race, still there, well in contention for the podium. That is impressive as the 54 moves Pini out of the way then for that 3rd position, I should say.
And this double right-hander at the end, of course, so crucial that you get through here well, because this can dictate the speed up the straight. It's a long, long run up the start and finish straight here at Le Mans into the right-hander. And, you're flat out in 6th gear and just rolling at the end to try and keep a tight line through that right-hander, so you've got a good position into the ensuing left.
Roger Moudley just running a little bit too wide there through turns 1 and 2. Really cut off his sort of ability to overtake either Pini or Ferrandis there for P3.
That's right, and you want to be running 2nd all the way through, but if you're offline, you have to go back to 3rd, and that can cost you through that left-right flick and up underneath the Dunlop Bridge.
Well, the freight train, we're very much used to seeing it. It's just surprising me though, Peter. I'm not seeing Max Quiles claw onto the back of this group again. He set a 146 and he's going to have to relinquish all those positions. Otherwise, he's going to get a long lap penalty.
Well, that's right, and yes, it's been a bit odd, hasn't it, the long lap penalties and that. But Roger Moudley looking super good, the number 11 there in 4th place. He really is attacking now.
Yeah, very, very strong indeed.
Up the
there
inside,
he goes.
no chance.
Cut him off, did Carpe there. Very, very nice defending from the Spanish rider. Onto the, as Cormac runs it right to the edge of the track limits there. Across the line they come, 6 laps to go.
And Rico has opened up a bit of an advantage. It's 0.7, 7/10 of a second he has over the points leader, Angel Piqueras.
Pini been pushed back a lot there. I think, is this what happens then, Peter, when, on a track which requires so much flow rather than very much start and stop? A lot of riders overtaking each other in chasing for second. The leader out front could just eke away.
Well, that's right. They've almost, with these double, the left-right switches, the very tight corners, overtaking, they're almost bound to slow each other down. Oh, and up the inside superbly comes Roger Moudley up into 3rd place. Almost bound to slow each other down, aren't they? So can Roger Moudley now get on the tail of the 18 of Angel Piqueras in 2nd place? Oh, very quick through there, isn't he? Very quick, and still gets a good drive out, and he'll pick up the slipstream from the points leader Piqueras. He's tucked down behind the screen.
Fernandez just off the back of this group, up 10 places in this race, so that is a heck of a ride from the Spaniard, the very, very tall Spaniard, I might add, as well. You can really see actually a lot of the taller riders doing much better here in Le Mans, much more favourable for them at a circuit like this than, say, Mugello.
Great battling for position there, and Richard Moodley is up into second place, ahead of the points leader Piqueras. He's up into second, and as he's got his sights set on Rico Samela for the win.
This would be absolutely sensational from the South African. I'd love to see, as much as I want to see Rico win as well. I mean, they've got too many horses in this race for me, I think.
Well, that's right. They're all super blokes, aren't they? You really want to see them do well. But it's absolutely fantastic. Ruche up into second place. He's got his sights set on Rico Salmela. You're looking back at the 94 of Guido as they close down on Rico Salmela, and he's dropped back into fourth place as he's been passed by Guido Pini. There's Rico, 6 tenths of a second as they started this lap. Let's see as they flash across the line. It's down to 0.5, so he's lost a tenth to Ruche Moodley.
Look at that, a 1:45.6. That's faster than the pole position time of yesterday by 4/10 of a second from Salmela.
Yes, and he's a full second quicker than he was in qualifying yesterday. That put him in 13th place, a full second faster. So up the hill he goes, closing in on Rico Salmela. Now, okay, you know, I wonder what he's going to do when he does, because it does look as though he's going to get on his tails. But as you say, Matt, maybe he's now been warned of the approach, and maybe Salmela will try and pull out all the stops and stay in front. But also the 94 there of Guido Pini, very, very late on the brakes. You could see things got a bit out of line there as he braked very hard, and
Ruche, don't look behind.
Oh, just
stop looking behind.
No, watch in front. The man you care about is the one in front, for goodness sake.
Moodley. Absolutely love it, don't you, at this level?
Yeah, and, you know, I reckon he lost a couple of bike lengths there, didn't he? You know, because he's not tucked. He wasn't tucked away. Come on.
And the rider behind him is about a foot taller than him as well, so he was never going to catch him anyways.
Right, through the left-hander, then down to the tight right, back into first gear. Can he get a better drive than Rico Samela and out onto the start and finish? There'll just be 3 laps remaining. And there is the 18 of Angel Piqueras. He's still in 4th place.
Carpe 5th as well. A very experienced podium finisher now as well. He will be he gets a whiff of this. And Quiles, he's on the chase too. How much faster was Quiles that time around? 3/10 of a second quicker than the others. How much did he come across the line? He was 6/10 off them across the line. So this could be Quiles in the mix as well.
Yeah, and obviously he doesn't want to finish in 6th place. That's no good for his championship, is it?
No way, no way.
So it's still Rico on the 27, but slow each other down, that they can get on the back of Rico and really give it a race for the win all the way to the flag.
Yeah, that would be sensational, wouldn't it? I mean, the main thing is if they want to keep the Piqueras in check in terms of the Cup standings, they have to push him as far back as they possibly can. Good news is they all want those podium places.
They do indeed. So Rico with the advantage, but it's under half a second now.
Oh, Rhys Stevenson's out. Oh, bless him. Turn 3. Well, he joins a long list of riders who have gone down there in their time. That's what happens occasionally, isn't it?
Unfortunately, his 3rd fall so far this year in the races. But there is the battle for the lead. Surely that's well less than half a second now.
Got to be. What is the gap going to be as they come across the line? I've got to say, Peter, I mean, if Rico isn't going to take this win at this point now, it'll be a bit of a crime, won't it? He's done so well up to this point.
He's ridden a perfect race, hasn't he? You know, other people have been making mistakes, looking a bit shabby, but he's just done it perfectly. But I think that Ruche Moodley's picking up the slipstream as they come into the super fast right-hander here.
It's a 1/4 of a second, the gap over the line. It's not close enough for an overtake, I think, this time around. But look at the pink helmet on the back. Oh, he's all over him.
But they've only got a lap and a half to do it.
Yeah, Quiles dispatches Carpe there. He's really turning up the pace, isn't he? Now, Ruche, keep your eyes forward. It's a big fella in front of you. You can't overtake him on the slipstream. On the run down into the chicane, he pulls out from the slipstream, but is he going to be last on the brakes? No, he's not. They're still on the back of Rico, but he still just looks calm and collected and solid, Peter.
He does, and there's the grudge match, 4th and 5th, Piques and Quiles, 4th and 5th, 18 and 28, the two men who don't really hide the fact that they are arch rivals. Samela who has the advantage. Pini is the man who's looking now.
Oh, Piqueras!
My
That was
goodness,
rude.
that was big and brave, wasn't it?
Fierce, absolutely fierce. Across the line they come then. It's last lap time in Rookies Cup. Moodley's not happy. He's up. I'm going to have a piece of you now.
Well, that's right. And can Guido Pini take the lead from Rico Somelo, who's done an absolutely incredible job all the way through this 16-lap race. Down into the chicane for the last time, the left and right.
Oh, Piqueras all the way around the outside of Pini. Goodness me.
But then that has pushed Guido Pini wide. The 94 Yuso go well off the track. So it's now Piqueras, the points leader, the man who's already run 3 races this year, who is...
Get that victory again, Rico.
But Piqueras is coming, he's coming, he's coming. And Guido Pini getting a bit desperate. He's wide there on the 94, way back now.
Quiles around his outside, wants to be the last of the late breakers into Garage Vert. Moodley, there's a couple of bright lanes there. They've just got to be sensible on the rundown. Pini punches Quiles straight back then. It's
Brilliant, he's just got to get the perfect drive out, keep it off the green stuff. Angel Piqueras, absolutely perfect, brilliant win. His 4th Rookies Cup victory of the year. Poor old Rico.
Sometimes you just got to send it, mate, and he didn't, but Piqueras did. That was potentially a kind of a cup-winning ride, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, you're right. Yeah, exactly what I just thought too, you know. Great to see Rouchet get on the podium. Kies, you know, in 4th place, not a bad run for the end. He wasn't waiting, you know. I mean, that was, in the end, he had to do something pretty desperate on that last lap.
I mean, hey, that's the desperation of a potential champion right there, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, and I use the word desperation, but was it just supreme confidence that he knew he could do it? I don't know. He did. Well, you know.
Oh, Rico's so gutted, isn't he? Yeah, that way.
Exactly. Rouchet Moodley, 3rd on the podium, and that is super.
Got to give a shout out to Cormac, because those are the exact kind of solid points that he was looking forward to
last year, but he certainly slipped that around this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's absolutely on it, isn't he then? He takes the win from Rico Salmela, Rouchet Moodley in 3rd. Quiles was 4th. What might have been without that long lap penalty, but he gets another opportunity tomorrow. Pini 5th ahead of Carpe, Ferrandez, Buchanan, and then Danish. That's a great result ahead of a fellow Aussie, Jacob Rollstone. Lorenz Luciano just outside the top 10, a good ride from him. Marco Morelli will be miffed with himself, having to fight back for 19th after starting from pole. RV Adatam was 14th. Eddie O'Shea a point in 15th, and that is the hardest earned point of his young career. Congratulations, Eddie, and welcome back. Rose Salmela equal on points with Quiles a further 10 behind. Hakim Danish moves up 2 places to 5th ahead of Rollstone, Moodley, O'Gorman and Ruda. Then, as we clock onto the next screen, it's Marco Morelli and Alberto Ferrandez with 35. He'll moves further down as he recovers from injury. Adatama and Thompson, P16 and 17. Then a little bit further down, you've got Rosenthaler, Misera, Boggio, Farkas and Eddie O'Shea, the